No entry. It's VIP kids only. Your child can watch online. My sister scoffed at her son's pool party. She kept my $3,700 and removed my child from the guest list. My reply: noted. 7 days later she called. Our house has no power, no water. Even the internet vanished. Did the payment arrive? My answer: VIPs settle their accounts. Emotional hook. Have you ever been blindsided by your own family? Told your child wasn't VIP enough for a party you practically paid for? Imagine looking your little boy in the eye, knowing he's been excluded by the very people you've spent years trying to help. What the hell do you do then? My name's Mark, I'm 33. And for as long as I can remember, I've been that guy. The older brother, the fixer, the one who remembers birthdays, prints boarding passes for everyone, and shows up with a drill when a cabinet door starts sagging. My day job? I write pretty boring software. But that means I'm good with forms, passwords, and making sure things get paid on time. I'm married to Lena, the calm in my storm, and we have a son, Theo. He's 3, still says swimming like it has an extra W, and thinks sprinklers are pure magic. Then there's my sister, Jade. She's 31. Our family comet, bright, loud, fast, and always burning through someone else's fuel. She's married to Evan, a guy who speaks like life is one long, excruciating podcast ad. We're doing great things this quarter, he'd say. They moved into a ranch house my uncle practically gave them. Me? I spent 2 weekends patching drywall, crawling through a creepy crawl space, and labeling the electrical panel for them. Because, apparently, no one else gets this stuff, man. Last Thursday, I was just wrapping up a client call when my phone lit up. It was a text from Jade. Don't come. It's for VIP kids only. Then, the kicker: yours can watch online. I just stared at it. For a second, I honestly thought it was a joke. I typed, "What?" She called immediately. No hello. Just a laugh that sounded more like a choked sneeze. "Mark, please," she chirped. "It's a curated head count. We're doing a brand collab. Swim company, balloons, a photographer. We can't have, like, chaos. Theo's cute. He can watch the live stream. I'll send you the link." I didn't say a word. My eyes drifted to the fridge, where Theo's paper fish was stuck with a magnet. He'd painted it blue, called it Schko. My throat felt tight. "Jade?" I finally managed. "It's Liam's birthday. He's Theo's cousin." "Exactly," she said, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness. "Family. So support us. Don't make it about you." Then Evan's voice, cutting in on speaker, all corporate jargon and no soul. "Isn't family the part where we actually come? We have capacity concerns, bro safety, legal, insurance. It's a vibe. Influencer kids first. Brand wants faces people recognize. Brand wants faces," I repeated. The silence that followed felt like the bottom of a deep pool. Heavy, muffled, suffocating. "You took my money for this." "That was a general contribution." Jade snapped back, totally unfazed. "We're fronting a lot. The fig alone is 4 figures. Also the cabana guy. We needed help." "How much did I send?" I asked, even though I knew the number burned in my brain. I'd Venmo'd it just last week while stirring pasta for dinner. "Stop being transactional," she hissed. "Be grateful you get access to the content. We're doing a highlight reel." Lena was at the sink, hands deep in soap, listening intently. She whispered, "Say less. Hang up." I kept my voice even, steady, betraying none of the fire building inside me. "Jade, you messaged me last Tuesday. Emergency deposit for the pool company. You asked for $3,700. She sniffed. "And you said it was to hold the date and cover lifeguards." "I sent it the same hour," I stated. "You also asked for my utility login, remember? You said the gas bill was bugging out, and could I fix the auto pay one last time?" "That's unrelated," she said quickly. "Right," I replied, a cold edge entering my voice. Asterisk unrelated start. "Look, Mark," she said, her voice dropping conspiratorially, the way she talks when she's about to close a door on your foot. "You're making this weird. Theo is 3. He'll be fine. Send a cupcake emoji. Say proud of you. I'll tag you in stories." I looked at Theo's floaties, still damp from yesterday's park sprinklers, hanging from a hook. He'd been singing happy birthday to himself all morning. "Okay," I said, a hollow sound. Jade let out a long, relieved exhale, like she'd just solved a complex algorithm. "Finally. See. Supportive. Love you. Love you." I said, and hung up. Lena slowly set down her sponge. You're calm. I am, I replied, my voice flat. For now. She dried her hands, her eyes searching mine. What are you thinking? Nothing loud, I said. Not yet. My phone buzzed. A new text from Jade. It was a glossy invite image, Liam's VIP splash. Gold font. Sponsored logos at the bottom, brands I'd never even heard of. Then one more message. We'll send the link 10 a.m. sharp. Try not to spam the chat. It's for parents who are there. I stared at the screen until it dimmed, reflecting my face back at me, small and tired. In my head, a drawer slid open with a neat stack of receipts. Logins, timestamps, numbers. They are patient. They don't shout. They wait. I didn't move. I listened to the kitchen clock. Tick, tick, tick. Then, quietly, I said, okay, because I'd heard enough. Jade had taken from me before. It never looked like stealing, though. It looked like, help me out real quick. It looked like it'll come back around. The first time was rent money, the month after she moved out of our parents' place into a downtown studio with brick walls and a fire escape. She posted daily. I start at the boutique next week. It's just timing, she'd written. I sent $600. She posted iced coffee and wrote, manifesting abundance. I was 27 then, pulling late nights, saving for a down payment, counting how many toilet paper rolls we had left before payday. My parents called it being good with money, like I was hoarding something instead of rationing my own stress. Jade called it stingy vibes. When she got engaged, I bought everyone matching tool belts, showed up, and built her flower arch in our mom's backyard. She cried on camera. Later, she texted, can you return the plywood and get the deposit back? I told her there was no deposit. She stopped replying. The pattern hardened. I'd fix Wi-Fi, rebuild a shelf, complete a bulk Costco run on my membership, cover a random Uber charge off my card because her Apple Pay glitched. Every time, there was a reason. The reasons lined up like dominoes, and I kept knocking them down. When Jade and Evan bought their house, the utilities were a mess. The previous owners had some weird old billing structure, Jade said. She asked me to put the accounts in my name for a month or two. I had the credit score and the patience to sit on hold with the gas company while an audio loop asked if I'd considered paperless billing. I did it. I set up autopay and sent them screenshots. You'll get the emails too, I wrote. Just reimburse me monthly. For the first 2 months, they did. By month 3, they didn't. I sent a gentle reminder. Jade replied with a heart emoji and got you. Nothing hit my account. Month 4, nothing. When I nudged again, she sent a photo of a cracked tile and wrote, we had an emergency. You get it. Here's the thing. I did get it. I've lived emergency. I've sat in the dark on purpose to stretch a bill. I've eaten rice with butter and called it comfort food, just so it wouldn't feel like surrender. So, I told myself I was helping, that it would all even out when life calmed down. It didn't even out. It expanded. When she got pregnant, I installed a smart thermostat so the baby wouldn't roast in August. When the baby came, I built a crib. When the crib came with the wrong hardware, I drove to the store anyway. When Jade said, we can't afford a gate for the pool yet, I said, I'll chip in. Because the thought of Liam toddling near water made my stomach twist. I sent the money. She posted the gate with partnership tags. She didn't tag me. And still I showed up. Because I loved my nephew. Because loving him looked practical and steady, not glamorous. I held him at 3 a.m. while Evan snored through a white noise machine. I wiped spit up off my sweater and learned the language of chubby hands. I checked latches. I found a leak from a supply line under the sink and fixed it with a $6 coupling. I kept receipts in an envelope because that's who I am. Not for court. For memory. Meanwhile, there were the comments. You're so intense, Jade would say if I asked about money. You make everything a spreadsheet. Be flexible, my mom would add, stirring soup like she was the family peacekeeper. Family helps family. Family helps family. I said it to myself like a password. The pool party arrived as a project 2 months ago. We want it to be a vibe, Jade said, chewing toast. Cabanas, pastel floats, a grazing table. Liam's only turning 4 once. We'll do a short program, Evan added. Partners, sponsors, then the Cannonball Challenge. He's 4, I reminded them. It's content, Jade corrected. He'll thank us when he's older. A week before her VIP splash text, she'd messaged me. Emergency pool deposit due by end of day. Can you help? We'll pay you back after the collab post clears. I was between invoices. It would be tight for me for a week, but I said yes. That's the muscle memory. I opened my banking app. The $3,700 number sat there like a dare. I typed it in. Hit send. I screenshotted the confirmation and sent it to her. She reacted with a confetti emoji and lifesaver. That same day, she asked for my utility login again. The gas bill keeps bouncing. It's saying something about authentication. Can you just go in and fix it? Promised last time. I changed the password, logged in, and saw a balance that made my jaw clench. Month's worth. I looked at the calendar. I looked at the pool date. I told myself I'd reconcile it when my own invoices were paid. Then came the invite line. Don't come. It's for VIP kids only. I told myself I misread it. I hadn't. That night, my mom called. She didn't ask how I was. She said, "Don't take it personally, honey. Jade is under pressure. Sponsors need things." "Mom," I said, my voice thin. She uninvited Theo. "He's little. He won't remember," Mom said. Theo padded into the room, wearing a shark towel, saying, "I swim fast." I nodded because I couldn't speak. He spun in a slow circle and made a splash sound with his mouth. "Just be there for your sister," Mom continued. "You know how she is." I knew exactly how she was. That's why my hands were calm. That's why I lined up my receipts on the kitchen table like cards. Lena watched me from the doorway. "You're going to ask for the money back," she said, a quiet certainty in her voice. "Eventually," I replied. "Eventually never comes with them," she said. "Then I'll make it arrive," I declared. The next morning, Jade sent a group chat blast. Reminder, VIP splash tomorrow. Dress code neutrals and white. No loud patterns. Parents not on the list will be redirected to the street for pickup. Someone reacted with fire emojis. My dad replied, "Proud of you, kiddo." I typed nothing. I watched my son drive a toy boat through a puddle and say, "Virum." And for the first time in years, I felt a deep, unnerving calm. The kind of calm that means something is about to end and something else is about to begin. The breaking point didn't arrive like a scene in a movie. There was no slam of a door, no broken glass. It arrived with a question from Theo that landed like a stone. "Do I go swimming at Liam's house?" I crouched down. "Not this time, buddy." "Why?" He blinked up at me. "He waits for reasons." I give him reasons about everything. Because carrots help your eyes. Because blocks fall without a base. Because the sun goes to sleep. Because mommy's sister made a silly rule, I said. "It's not about you." He thought about that. "I can clap?" he asked. "You can clap from home," I said, and something in my chest cracked quietly. I texted Jade. "We won't be there. Refund my $3,700 by Friday. Also, I'm ending the utilities coverage today. You'll need to put everything in your name." She called instantly. "You're kidding." "No," I said. "You're going to ruin my son's birthday because you're in your feelings?" She shrieked. "Your son's birthday," I said, my voice steady, "is funded by my money and running on my accounts." Evan jumped in. "Threats aren't a good look, bro. Sponsors are watching." "Cool," I said. "Sponsors can watch you pay your gas bill." Jade scoffed. "You wouldn't dare, Mark. I will destroy you in the family chat." "Don't play with me, Jade," I said evenly. "I don't have to play." She hung up. 8 seconds later, the family group chat lit up. "Jade, heads up. Mark is trying to sabotage Liam's day. He's withholding funds and threatening utilities." I can't with the negativity. "Mom, Mark, why would you do this?" "Call me." "Dad, son, fix it now." I typed one message to the chat. "I'll send a summary." "Then I'm muting this." I attached a PDF. On the first page, a list of line items. Pool deposit, $3,700. Sent 7 days ago, 2:32 p.m. Gas/electric balances for months unpaid. Statements attached. Pool gate contribution, $450. Screenshot. Emergency plumber supply line, $126.84. Receipt. Groceries delivered after Liam was born, $1,892. Invoice. Then I wrote, "We were invited to watch our nephew's birthday online because our child is not VIP. Please direct your requests for generosity to the sponsors." Jade replied with 30 laughing emojis. "Imagine making a spreadsheet for a birthday party." "Mom, this is not the time." Lena, who never speaks in family threads, typed, "We asked to come. We were told no." Silence for a beat. Then Dad. Mark, stop embarrassing your sister. Do the right thing. I took a breath, not to calm down, but to keep my voice level. When I called the gas company and the electric company, I explained that I was removing autopay and the accounts would be transferred or terminated at the end of the cycle. The rep asked if I wanted to schedule disconnection. No, I said. I'm simply ending my payments. The account holder is me. The usage is not. The rep read a disclaimer. I listened to every word. I said yes when it mattered, no when it didn't. Jade called again while I was still on hold with the second company. I let it go to voicemail. She left 6 messages, each angrier than the last. You petty little man. Theo's not even that into water. You'll regret this. When the emails came, autopay canceled, I forwarded them to Jade and Evan with a polite note. Please set up your own billing today. You've had months. No reply. The morning of the party, the live stream link arrived at 9:58 a.m. The thumbnail showed white balloons, paper fans, branded towels. The caption, Welcome VIP families. Theo sat in my lap in his shark towel. He clapped when the screen showed inflatables. He said, Liam FIM. I kissed his head. Yep, I said. At 10:43 a.m., my phone rang. Jade, I answered. Her voice was no longer a laugh. It scraped, she cried. The house has no electricity. No water. Even the Wi-Fi is gone. Did you send the money? I asked. I looked at the live stream. It had frozen on a frame of a plastic flamingo. The chat filled with question marks. I could hear muffled chaos behind Jade's voice. The filter isn't running. It's not safe. Call someone. The freezer. VIPs pay their bills, I said. She inhaled like she'd been slapped. You're evil, she whispered. You sabotaged us. I stopped paying for you, I said. That's different. You did this today, she shouted, her voice rising. I did this yesterday, I corrected. You ignored it. You're going to fix it. Right now? Or I swear. No, I said. I'm done. And I hung up. 2 minutes later, Dad called. I answered because if I didn't, he'd show up. Mark, he said, his voice low, like he was about to deliver some profound wisdom. You made your point. Put the utilities back for today. Don't ruin your nephew's memory. I'm not ruining anything, I said. But I won't pay for a party I'm not allowed to attend. He exhaled hard. You always were dramatic. I learned from the best, I said, and ended the call. The live stream chat flickered. We'll be right back. It read, then went black. Theo said, all done, and reached for his blocks. Yeah, buddy, I said softly. All done. The party became a backyard scavenger hunt for towels and excuses. There was screaming. Not the fun kind. The kind that the caterer has nowhere to plug in. Jade texted me photos of a melting, grazing table, like it was my crime scene. Glossy strawberries sweating into cheese. I muted her. At noon, Mom showed up at my door. No knock, just walked in, because she still had the old key. Lena was making grilled cheese for Theo. I stood at the counter, flipping a sandwich. Mom went straight into her opening statement. You humiliated your sister, she said. On her son's birthday. I put the spatula down. She uninvited my son. That's not the point, Mom said, waving a hand dismissively. It's exactly the point, I corrected. She said it poorly, Mom conceded, but she was overwhelmed. Sponsors. Stop saying sponsors, Lena said quietly, from the kitchen. Mom turned, surprised she was even there. Mom tried again. You didn't need to cut power. I didn't cut anything, I stated. I ended autopay on accounts I own. I sent notice. They didn't act. She counted on you, Mom said, her voice softening. You're reliable. That's not a compliment, I said, meeting her gaze. If it means default wallet. Mom's face shifted, like she'd glimpsed a different angle and didn't like it. So what now? War, she asked. No, I said. Boundaries. At 1:30 p.m., Evan posted a story of him carrying buckets of water like a pioneer. The caption, haters can't stop the grind. Comments were off. At 2:05 p.m., my uncle, the one who sold them the house, called me. What happened, he asked. I told him exactly what happened. No extra adjectives, he grunted. I told them to change the accounts months ago. At 3 p.m., Jade called again. I let it go to voicemail. We salvaged it, she said, toneless. The generator came, but this is not over. At 4 p.m., the family thread filled with the usual split screen. Half of them telling me I went nuclear, the other half staying suspiciously quiet. Lena sent me a single look from the couch. It said, They're going to try to yank you back in. I nodded. At 6 p.m., there was a knock. Evan. He was still in a white linen shirt, spotted with something that looked suspiciously like cake. This is insane, he said, pushing past me. You can't just stop, I said. You embarrassed us, he accused. You cost us a partnership. You think we won't come for you legally over me not paying your bills? I asked, a mirthless chuckle escaping my lips. Okay. He set a letter-sized printout on my table. It was an invoice, addressed to me. Half of the party cost, he said. Send it by Monday. I laughed. Not mean, just tired. Get out of my house. He took a step forward, like he wanted a scene. Lena stood up. She didn't raise her voice. Evan, leave. He glared. This is bigger than you think, he said to me. People with reach are watching. Good, I said. Let them watch you demand money from your brother-in-law while banning his kid. He flinched. Not much. Enough. He left. That night, I pulled the envelope of receipts back out and added the day's printed emails. Autopay canceled. Confirmation numbers, timestamp call logs. I'm not a revenge guy. That's never been my fuel. What I am is a documentation guy. I wrote a short, polite email to Jade and Evan with bullet points and attached the same PDF I'd sent the family thread, expanded now. Utility accounts will be in your names by Friday. Contact info attached. Reimbursement total to date, with dates and references. Deadline for the $3,700 refund, Friday at 5 p.m. If not received, I will file a small claims case for reimbursement of funds and seek to recover court fees. I CC'd my uncle, because he's the only one who reads. I clicked send. Then I closed the laptop and sat with Theo on the floor, stacking blocks until the tower crashed, and he laughed like the sound could break a curse. The next day, something shifted. Not in the loud half of the family. They were busy. New posts went up of resilience and community. A photo of a cake with a candle stuck into a cup of melted ice cream. The caption, "We made memories." I scrolled past it and went outside to water the tomatoes. The shift came from the quiet half. My cousin Mara texted. I'm sorry. That was cruel, she wrote. We all saw the VIP thing, but no one said anything. It was easier. Thanks, I replied. Simple. Then my aunt called. The aunt who never speaks above a murmur. I've been paying your grandmother's phone bill for 3 years, she said. Your dad never took her name off after she passed. I didn't know how to stop it without making a mess. Seeing you do that, ending the autopay, made me realize I can. She started crying. It sounds ridiculous. It doesn't, I said. At lunch, I told Lena, maybe this is how it breaks. One invoice at a time. She squeezed my knee under the table. We can live with that. At 2 p.m., Jade sent the first non-threatening text. Can we talk? She wrote. On text, I replied. We'll pay you back, she typed. Just give us time. You set the date? I said. Friday, she replied, and left it on read. At 4 p.m., my dad called. I answered. He sounded older, like a theater teacher after a long rehearsal. I looked at your PDF, he said. He said PDF, like it tasted new. You keep everything. I always have, I said. Silence. I didn't realize how much you were covering. You didn't ask, I said, not accusing. Just true. Another silence. I still think the party thing. Dad, I said. He stopped. Okay, he said. Okay. At 6 p.m., I grilled chicken in the yard. Theo ran in circles with a bubble wand. Lena sat on the steps reading. The sky went pink and soft. It felt like normal, which is a luxury. We ate at the little table, elbows bumping, salt passing, ordinary talk about nothing. And there, in the quiet, my phone buzzed. Deposit, $1,000 from Jade. Then another $1,000 from Evan. A minute later, $1,700 from Jade with a note. For your precious ledger. I didn't reply. I sent a screenshot to Lena. She smiled and shook her head. Of course, she said. Even the last line has glitter. I opened my banking app and moved the money to savings. I wrote a receipt and added it to the PDF. I wrote, paid in full, dated it, and sent it to Jade and Evan and my uncle. Nothing dramatic, just a clean line. That night, Jade posted a photo of Liam blowing out a candle at their kitchen table. No sponsor tags, no balloons, just a superhero plate. It was a better picture than anything from earlier. For a second, I felt a surprising sting behind my eyes. Then I closed the app. The day after that, Jade texted Lena. Not me. Do you think Theo would like to come over next week to play? She wrote. Just the cousins. Lena showed me the screen, one eyebrow raised. Yes, I said. He'd like that. You sure? Lena asked. I'm sure, I said. But I'll drop him off at the door, and I'll pick him up on time. That's the whole deal. Copy, she said. When I did drop Theo off, Jade opened the door without the soundtrack voice. She looked tired, makeup-free. She knelt to Theo's height and said, Hi, buddy. She didn't say VIP. She didn't say anything about brands. She looked at me and didn't blink, like she does when she's about to sell something. Thank you, she said. For what? I asked. She looked down at her hands. For making a line I could see. I nodded. Pick up at 2, I said. 2, she said. I went home. I didn't hover. I didn't stalk the nanny cam I never installed. I drank coffee on my own porch and watched a squirrel yell at nothing. At 2, Theo was at the door with wet hair and a grin. I swim, he said. In the bath, Jade added quickly. Not the pool. Chill. Good, I said. And we left. On Friday, my uncle texted me a PDF of the utility transfers. Executed, he wrote. You're out. Thanks, I replied. It looked like nothing. It felt like oxygen. I thought I'd feel triumphant. I didn't. I felt clean, like I'd finally thrown away a box of cables I'd been hauling apartment to apartment, pretending I'd need them someday. The space felt strange at first. Then it felt right. Here's what stuck. What I keep in the front pocket of my mind. People who love you will still take from you if you teach them you're a well that never runs dry. They don't even notice the bucket scraping the bottom. It's not malice. It's convenience wrapped in habit. So, tell me, have you ever felt like the family's default wallet? What's the biggest boundary you've ever had to set with someone you love? Let me know in the comments below.